journey through Elite Dangerous. This is hopefully going to be one of many episodes to come. I'm Dante0. You can follow me on the Twitter, link that's below. So before we get into this, I just want to explain a little bit about what Elite Dangerous is. Elite, or Frontier Elite 2, which was my first experience with the game, was a game that was released in the early 90s. Many who have had things like Commodore 64s or Amiga 500s, for those that are older people that are watching this, will be very familiar with those systems. Elite was essentially a statistics-based sandbox games where you would go to space stations, you would trade, you complete missions, but fundamentally you could go wherever you want and pretty much do whatever you want, but it was line based. Fast forward almost 20 years and you have Elite Dangerous, which is basically taking the core concept of the original wireframe sandbox game and brought it kicking and screaming into the modern age. Now, Elite Dangerous has been available for PC for a little while now, since last year I think, and it's obviously been published on Xbox as well. We're streaming this on PS4, and I should just point out this is the standard version. This is the standard PS4, not the PS4 Pro version, but we have got the Elite Dangerous core game and the Horizon Season Pass. Now, for those that don't know, the Horizon Seasons Pass allows you to equip certain modules that allow you to land on planets and take advantage of other in-game stuff, such as the engineers, which is where I'll explain a little bit more as we go on into this journey. So I have actually put in about 20 hours or so just really to kind of establish my footing. So a word of warning for those that are interested in the game: the learning curve is a bit steep, but once you get the hang of it, you're really kind of let loose to do pretty much whatever you want. So we're going to go ahead and fire this up and connect to the servers. It is an online MMO to a certain degree. There are sort of multiplayer elements, and you can choose to play online on your own, or you can play with others. You can you can actually get formations of ships as well, where you all go around. I think it's co-op, where you can get like 4 friends and you can literally just fly around as a squadron doing missions and trading. So yeah, it's a really fun game. So for the sake of this first episode, we're gonna do some solo play, and I'll explain a little bit as to why that is again as we go along. So you'll see there on the screen at the moment, there's a ship. That's not the ship that you generally start off with. This I've had to save up a bit of money, but I've customised it as well. So this is a Type 6 transporter, which is quite useful for ferrying passengers and cargoes, and it's got a fairly good travel distance in it as well. And again, I'll explain more about that as we go through. It's just taking us a little bit longer to connect because obviously we're streaming. So I was playing this earlier today and I got to this point. So what I'm actually trying to do at the moment, just to bring you up to speed as to where I am at, is I've had a request from an engineer to go and visit them, but in order to visit the engineer I need to donate a certain item, and so basically I have to scour the universe to find that item before I can then go and visit the engineer. So I'm currently about 200 something odd light years away from that, and my ship, when it's empty, can travel a maximum of 28 light years. So that's a few jumps. So I'm just going to bring up the galaxy map, and this will be interesting for those that are curious about the size of the game. So all these blue dots are places we can actually visit, but if we zoom out, I'll do this slowly. So all those white dots are much like our own galaxy. So each one's will have, some will just have stars, some will have planets, planets around stars, multiple things. They'll have space stations. And as I zoom out this slowly, you can see that the vast amount of space we actually have to explore is massive. So that arrow there is where I'm currently at, and this is where I'm going to need to get to, and the distance, as I say, is about 250 light years. But just to give it a bit more perspective, we are on the outskirts of the solar system, of the galaxy swirl. Yeah, and if we wanted to travel all the way over here, it's gonna be damn near impossible to even do that in one episode or one kind of broadcast, because that's going to be like thousands of light years away for us to get to the other side of the galaxy. Well, we can get there, but sort of in between all that space, you can see there's lots of different star systems that we'll be able to like investigate and visit, and look, just that's crazy, and that's like right in the cluster. So we'd have to go through all this kind of stuff to get to the other side of this galaxy, but that's what we can expect. What makes this game kind of exciting for those that haven't picked this up is there's so much to explore. And even if you're not an explorer, if you're a fighter, there's all kinds of options for that. Me, I tend to play with a mentality of exploring and trading. I'm not really one for the fighting because it can get quite complicated. But I have just started with the politics side of the game, which would be quite cool. So earlier on, like I said, I took some missions on to as part of my journey, because they're kind of going to the same place. So we're going to map a route there, and we'll shortly leave this space station. So as you can see, this system isn't really taking me out too far out of the way of my journey to where I need to go to. So we're going to Ross Terminal. Cool. Controls are pretty basic until you get into the fire fights with other ships, which we'll see as we go through, and then obviously there's other stuff as well that we have to be careful of, because it's a living, breathing solar system. And it just gives you some idea of the scale of this game. This is just insane. Oh, bloody hell. It's not a good start. Just clipped a spaceship on my way out. Just messed up my telemetry. Occasionally that does happen. That's not just me being stupid to prove a point. And then that's probably the downside of having a first-person perspective when you play this game. So we're just going to speed up, get some speed behind us. One thing I'm going to do quickly is I'm going to just switch the camera, turn it on free roam, and then you get some idea of the scale of this. So this is the space station that we've just come from. And you can see there's a sun in the distance. There's all kinds of things, and we could potentially go to any one of those single dots if we choose to do so at some point in our play of the game. So let's get back to our cockpit. So we're going to head to Ross Station. So we just go down here, and we're going to go into a hyper jump. It's going to take us 10.7 light years. Might actually spend some of these stupid leaflets when I get there. Boom, and we're up. So the hyperdrive in this game basically creates an artificial wormhole for nerds and geeks like me, which basically means you can move fast distances through time and space. It's almost like folding time and space. So you always have to be careful when you come up against this stuff. But one of the things you're going to learn when you get started with this game is to have a fuel scoop. So you can fuel up and you won't ever have to worry about buying fuel unless you travel mass distances. So you're going to lock the destination with the space station that we need to go to. And sometimes in this game you'll see like yellow dots flying past you. Some of those will be spaceships, some of those will be things that you may want to look at. But what's interesting about these is we can see these dots here, and some of these are like solar systems within solar systems, which is pretty cool. If you can imagine, like our solar system had, like as soon as you got to Pluto, and beyond Pluto it had another sun in the solar system with planets around it, and that's inclusive of the solar system. That's the kind of thing you can expect here. So I'm just going to put our divert resources to our system so we can get our shields back up to full strength. And I'm just going to check the messages about this mission report. So if we do this, if we complete this mission in the next hour and 28 minutes, you're going to get an extra 50,000 credits. So over the course of the game, there is an economy in it. You need to do things to earn credits. You can do this by waging political campaigns. You can export goods. You can be a pirate and trade illegal goods. You can sell things on the black market and transport that across. You can take passengers from one destination to another, and that's another way to make credits. Now you might ask, what's the point of making credits? Well, as you go through from station to station and you build up your factions and stuff, you'll get access to bigger, better, faster ships, which you'll then have to customize to the best of your abilities, in the sense that if your priority is, for example, you want to play the game exploring, then you need to prioritize your ship so that it's lightweight, it's fast, it doesn't it will be able to travel longer distances, but you won't be able to carry as much cargo or have as many weapons equipped to it to defend yourself. So you've got to find that trade-off. But yeah, credits are what keeps the economy running over, much in the same way like recent games like EVE Online. So, but thankfully this isn't a pay to win. You do actually have to earn your credits. You can't just go onto the PlayStation store or the Frontier store and buy 1 billion credits and buy the best ship straight from the off. There's absolutely no way to do that. You have to grind through it, and that's not a bad thing, because it means that you really do have to consider how you play the game and what you kind of want to get out of it, and where you want your journey to take you. I would say it's almost like, if you're ever interested in No Man's Sky, this is kind of like the more, it might seem like an unfair comparison, but this is like the more adult version of that, so to speak, where where you really can set the agenda of what you do. Okay, thank God for that. For a second there I thought I was going to have to land on that planet. But you'll see these lines, and they show you like the gravitational pulls, these lines in the distance where that yellow marker is. So when you get close to a planet, you'll see there's a yellow line over it. What you want to be careful of is, unless you're going to land on that planet, you don't want to be anywhere near that line, otherwise it will pull you into the atmosphere, and it will pull you out of your super fast, super cruise mode, and yeah, you'll have to wait a little bit, then you have to set up your terminal velocity, factors to get out of the atmosphere and the gravitational pull. The worst time for that to happen is when you're anywhere near a sun. Suns, obviously, much like the real thing, do have gravitational pull. So we're just slowly pulling into the station here. We'll get a bit closer and then we can drop out of hyperdrive. But we do have to watch our speed a little bit. So the last thing we want to do is go straight past it. So it's worth noting as well, I showed you how big that galaxy is, and it's based off the obviously Milky Way, our own galaxy, but a lot of the stars are generated. Now obviously the planets, there's no way to know exactly what the planets look like, and there's some creative license with there, but it's all taken from data that's generated by NASA, so there's an element of truth to it as well. I mean, it's not to say if you pull up on a planet and it's got a designated registration, it's not to say the real life version of that will have like rings around it or something like that, but it'll be as close as it can get using the data that NASA collects. As you see, NASA's continuously storing petabytes of data, probably even more than that, based off signals and satellite missions and stuff it has. So you know, this kind of feeds into the system of Elite, which is really cool actually. So yeah, so this is going to be the first stop on our journey for this episode, really, because we, like I say, the goal is we want to go and visit the engineer so we can try and extend the range of our FSDs, or I can't remember what the acronym is, but it's basically like your hyperdrive, which allows you to move through time and space between systems. So we want to extend that distance as much as possible. Now I've already maxed that out by upgrading the module, but we can make it go further if we're able to get one of the engineers to work on it. As I say, we have to go to a specific system to pick up the material that we need to donate to the engineer, so that will actually work on our drive. So we just dropped out of hyperspace, and we're going to land on this space station in a moment. I'm going to set it to autopilot and let it do its thing. This is what the system looks like that we're currently in at the moment. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of planets. There's 2 suns. Now it looks quite relatively small, but the distance between that sun and that sun's going to be massive, otherwise they would just collide based on gravity and stuff. But yeah, we've got quite a few kind of different Saturns, and we can go to some of these planets, mine for stuff, but that's once we've got more upgrades. In order, you can land on planets, but in order to kind of harvest and stuff, you need to have a special thing. So we're going to request docking. Okay, so we have to slow down and back up a bit. So we're going to put reverse thrusters on a bit. Sometimes, depending on the space station and the faction you're aligned with, if the space station's owned by that faction, they might let you get in close before you request docking permission, but others, especially if they're a different kind of faction, will make you go the whole distance. They won't let you on unless they won't let you request docking until you've got a specific distance away. So most of the time it's 7.5 kilometers. You have to be away from the thing before you request permission. So yeah, the first stop is the Ross terminal. See what I mean? So now I'm going to slow down and I'm going to let the autopilot take over, and for the every time you land on Elite as well. Elite's classically known for its classic soundtracks as you come into land and stuff. So I'm going to toggle the ship's camera, and I'm going to put it on free camera because I want you to be able to see. So we're coming into land on the station as well, so just going to see if we can get in close and I can show you my little dude who's flying my spaceship. That's my character flying the spaceship. Pretty cool that you can zoom in and close to that. And I turn the ship lights on as well, so our spaceship stands out a bit more in space. So whenever you have the autopilot, for some reason it does like to dive directly at the target that you're going to be landing at, and then at the last second it will pull up and float onto its thing, landing pad, like so. And now it's just going to lower itself down and feather itself backwards and forwards. Get an idea of the scale of the size of the space stations. Most of them are unique as well, so most space stations, while they might look the same on the surface, they're actually not. So we're going to complete some missions here that we started before. There we go. So our reputation's growing with that particular system, but it's also growing within the superpower or the Federation. Gonna get a nice big tasty reward for this one. Yeah, that's what we want. 100 grand. So you can see in the top right. Top left corner, my credits, I've got about 2.1 million credits. Currently, to get the next kind of ship really that will make any difference to our future journeys, I'm going to need to get the next ship up, which is about 5 million credits. So just going to see where this is on the galaxy map and see if this is on our way. No, see, that requires us going backwards, so there's no point. We want to go forwards. So I don't think there's too many missions we can take up for now. Oh, we could donate 50k, get a bit of reputation. Nice. So we get some extra reputation there. So like I said, I'm not going to take up any more missions from this situation, because next place we want to go to is we want to continue on this location. We are going to go get some excuse me, it's a bit late at night here in the UK, but late night gaming, that's what it's all about, especially for episode 1. Right, so we're going to go back to our galaxy map. And we're going to go into our bookmarks. So you can bookmark systems as well, which definitely comes in handy. So the system we're going to is Maya. So as I say, we've still got another 253 light years to go. This is going to be a bit of a trek. So we'll have to make sure that in between these systems that we may have to stop at a couple of space stations just to do wear and tear, but essentially we've got 12 jumps. So the next jump is going to be roughly 24 light years. So we're going to launch our spaceship. Starport's going to turn us around. Just going to raise up. Follow the mini radar, so to speak. Get rid of our landing gear. So during the course of this stream, if anybody does want to ask any questions, like on this episode or future episodes about how the game plays, or they want any advice, by all means do let me know in the comments. Tweet me, use the hashtag Elite when tweeting me, so I know that your questions relating to Elite. Right, so let's engage our hyperdrive. So when we get to this system as well, I'll explain a little bit about the why it's good to be an explorer, because you can actually make a lot of money exploring star systems, and that'll be either travelling and scanning planets, or what they call nav beacons, which usually are found as soon as you enter a system. If you scan those and you travel to a system that's 20 light years away from what you originally scanned, you can then sell that card. Let me see if I pronounce it properly. Cartographic data. You can sell that data. So I'm gonna quickly just change our focus. Okay, so someone's trying to actually drag us out of hyperspace, so we're kind of being attacked but not. So this is actually a weapon someone's just fired at me to try and drag me out of hyperspace. So they can extort cargo or basically try and destroy me or something along those lines. So thankfully we just about dodged that. Thanks to my mad piloting skills, otherwise we might have had to have a fight. As you can see there, like, that pirate's trying to contact me and threaten me. Not on my watch, son. So we want to get back to where we were before, which was the nav beacon. Here we are. Yeah, we're going to end up going past it by accident, so that's okay. If we go past it, it's not the end of the world. We can just turn around and come back up. So now we've done a U-turn. So we're gonna creep up on this beacon, drop out of hyperspace as soon as we get a bit closer. Nearly there. Let's drop out of hyperspace. Let's get this nav beacon scanned so we can see a white dot. That's what we're aiming for there. We'll probably see ships flying around. They'll probably be doing the same thing as me. Just scanning the system. Okay, so now that we've scanned the system, so now we can actually see the entire system thanks to scanning that nav beacon. And this is what the system looks like. And so we now know there's a star point there that we can go to should we need it, but we need to continue our journey. So we're going to not stop in the system. Instead, we're going to get back to our journey towards Maya to get our metal alloys. Crap. So you've always got to watch out for that sun. So I'm going to fuel scoop a little bit. So you have to be careful with fuel scooping because you don't want to increase the temperature of your ship too much. You're close to the sun, but you do want to make sure you get plenty of fuel. It's going to come in handy. In a second, I'm going to slow the ship down and turn it around and point it at the sun. Look at that, two suns side by side. And I'm going to try and scan those in a second. So that's some more data. slowly back to where we just come from, and we're going to scan it. So in order to scan at this kind of distance, you're going to need to upgrade your scanners at some point on the ship. Okay, cool. Right, let's scan that one. It's giving us a result. So now we're going to scan the other sun. On there. We're going to speed up. Slow our speed down a little bit. Let's get shit scanned. So you know that, wait till you get to, I think my scanners are set to about 200 light years or light seconds, so yes. To travel between systems it's light years. Travel in a system, it's like seconds. So we should start scanning the star in a minute. Sure why it wasn't scanning it before, but as soon as we've done this scan we can lock and load the next system. So we now know it's a red dwarf star. Sweet. Alright, next system, here we come. HIP 18347. Speed up. I feel the need for speed. So now we're travelling light years, not light seconds. So you always have to be careful because when you come out of the hyperspace jump, don't end up going crashing into the sun. I'm not going to show you what happens if you do, but I just know it's not good. So you want to sort of stay out of this yellow line. You go below it. Now, you might be asking me why I'm still going around the sun like I am, and that's basically because I'm scooping energy from the sun to fuel my spaceship, which means you can travel a bit longer. Okay. You're going to have to be extremely careful in this system because there's a certain planet that we can only go to if we have a special permit. I'm assuming we have to get that permit by doing special missions. Oh crap! And he flew into a smaller sun. How many suns does this thing have? It's bright. How long? 22,000 light seconds it takes. If we get up some speed, I still think that's going to take us a little bit too long. How long is this going to take? It's 14 minutes. And even if that speedometer on the middle bottom right gauge, even if that gets into the hundreds, it's still going to take us a bit too long, I think. So what we'll do for now, let's just scan 1 star, that should be enough to get us some money. So now we're just going to skip that. We're going to continue on our journey to get meta alloys for the engineer that we need to get our freight shift drive massively improved. And the thing is, once we've got our freight shift drive massively improved on this ship and potentially, you know, the next ship that I purchase, but even if we get it upgraded for this ship, it means this ship can then go a lot further, do a lot more things, which will help us make money a lot quicker for the other missions. So we're going to scoop some more fuel again. Again, we've got to be careful about how close to the sun we get. So we maxed out the fuel that we can scoop. Have we got enough beacon? A new option. So you've got some planets that we can scan here as well. Again, you know, it might seem like an initial boring thing to do when you're going through systems. You might want to get to your destination a lot quicker, but actually by scanning things as you fly through systems, as long as you've got the fuel scoop to keep fueling up every time you jump systems, actually coming and exploring some of the solar systems throughout the galaxy will turn into a money-making enterprise, which is kind of what we want, really. So for the sake of going on a detour for a little bit and scanning some of these planets that are like seconds away, you know, we might end up finding a new space station, a new planet that we can land on, a new resource, which we could potentially mine. But then, like I said, as long as whenever you scan solar systems and planets and suns and stuff, if you get to a space station that's over 20 light years away, you can then sell the data from the system you've come from to the new system, and you can make money off it. I think at the moment, the systems I explored before we started this episode, I think if I'd sold that data, it would have been worth about 60,000 credits so far, possibly more. So I'm just going to change our target for a second, because for some reason it's not scanning. See if we can get a little bit closer. There we go, it's starting to scan. It's slow. We do have to watch the speed on this a little bit. Also discovered a new signal source as well. So signal sources can be anything from communications between different ships, different factions. They can be data, they can be things that you can scoop up, so you can steal basically cargo from ships that have been in battles and the ships that have been destroyed. If the person destroying the ship hasn't taken their cargo, and you see an unidentified signal source, you can drop out of hyperspace and see if there's anything kind of tasty left over from the battle behind, and whether or not you want to scoop it up and then go and sell it on the black market. Again, you know, it comes back to this whole sandbox element of the game, where you can literally go and do pretty much anything that you want to in the confines of traditional space travel. I mean, obviously, like, you can't just jump out of the ship and fly around in space, but you know, this is a kind of very mature way of how we probably as a human race will probably end up experiencing space, you know, in the hundreds of years to come, where we'll be traveling between systems, and there'll be elements of trade, and there'll be colonies here, there and everywhere, and there'll be political systems. You know, as a human race we'll still have the same problems, no doubt, if we haven't ended it by the time we get to a point of where we're civilized enough to go out and explore the universe a bit more than we already have. But yeah, so it's kind of fun, really. It's almost it's fun to see what you can do within that sort of space. There was no pun intended with that, just for the record. So see, we found a planet we could potentially land on there. Where are we going? Right. So, slowly working our way through the closest light second systems, so you can get some tasty data from this, and then we can sell that data onwards. Picking up some nice speed now. Have to be careful to slow it down shortly. Otherwise we'll end up shooting past it, which is not ideal. But yeah, just trying to think of another way to describe Elite, really. It's almost like Space Simulator, real life edition. About the closest thing can come to. So yeah, as you can see in the bottom left hand corner, we're scanning the planet with our sensors. It automatically does that as long as you're locked on target to the thing that you want to explore, and that you're close enough distance depending on how good your scanner is that you've upgraded in your ship. So I think we might just scan one more planet on this, because that one's about 1,000 light seconds away, and then the others are like 3,000-4,000 light seconds away. Getting some nice distance going. But yeah, the random yellow lines that look like freeway lines, so you see some that are curved, some that are rounded, depending on how you've positioned your ship. Like I said before, they're kind of lines of orbit and gravity. So it shows you where planets would basically travel around the orbiting lines around the relevant stars. So again, we want to ease our speed off a bit so we can scan the planet. So scanning's commenced. Okay, so one thing I'm going to do quickly before we carry on is we have these political leaflets that I've been picking up as I go through the liberal propaganda. Now the federal aid we want to keep, but the liberal propaganda we're just going to jettison into space, and so that'll make us a little bit lighter, which means we can travel a bit further. So we're going to go back into, that's a criminal record I've got on this game already. We're going to travel back into the galaxy menu, and we're going to select the next stop on our destination as we head towards, yeah, so we're going to plot that route again. It's going to recalculate it based on the stop that we made. So we've got 8 jumps to go. Going to position ourselves for the hyperdrive, get some speed up. Again, we're travelling into an unknown system, so point of exit we might not know anywhere where we are when we name the system. So again, nice bright star. Gonna scoop up some fuel. Okay. So this is what I mean by that you have to be careful about how close you get. Otherwise, you end up like so. So you're gonna wait for our FSD engines to cool down a bit. Okay, so our FSD engines are back into life. So we're gonna select Super Cruise. We're gonna aim for the target velocity vector, target vector. It's been a long day. So almost an hour into this first journey and we haven't even hit where we need to be, and that's like, even if we didn't do the planetary scans, we'd still be struggling to get to that location in under an hour, which gives you an idea in terms of the scale of just how big this game really is. And you know these things haven't been explored because we haven't actually seen any other ships flying around this part for a while now. Just shows you how big it is. Okay, so we're going to scan 3 planets in this system, I think, and then or the 3 bodies in this system, and then we're going to head on to our next jump. Right, let's slow down, line our ship up, so we're ready to do some scanning. For those wondering as well, obviously there are a number of space simulation type games out there, such as No Man's Sky or the free-to-play Star Trek MMO. So you might be asking yourself, why play Elite instead of those? Well, for starters, Star Trek has a lot of lore behind it, and it's not really about discovery. I mean, obviously that's the mission of Starfleet, for example, in that lore, but actually when you play the game, most things are kind of spelled out for you, and you know, you understand like the spaceships and all those kinds of things, and you know, it kind of lacks a certain discovery element to it, which is a shame, really. And the same with No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky seems to be overly about kind of directing you in terms of, you know, farming and resource and stuff, and that's all well and good, but it never really gives you a purpose as to why you do stuff other than to move slightly on to the next stuff. You know, it's almost like the exploration element of No Man's Sky is either too laborious and complicated, or there's just no real reward for it. I mean, one thing that I mean, I love No Man's Sky, don't get me wrong, I'm not here to kind of bash it, but one thing that annoys me with No Man's Sky is, like, for example, I've lost those red orb things as I've travelled through on the storyline path, and it becomes frustrating, and then it's just like the amount of money it costs to upgrade ships to then travel faster, further, quicker. It's not, it is counterintuitive. Like, you don't sort of get your expectations set for you. It's almost like you might earn, I don't know, like a couple of thousand credits or whatever this thing is on No Man's Sky, but it doesn't tell you, it doesn't set your expectations of how much you're actually going to need to get a ship, because it depends on who's in the port and what ships are there and space stations, and, you know, it's weird. But like here, it's like I know a ship's going to cost me 5.5 million credits for a specific ship, and it doesn't really matter what space stations I go to. I know it's going to cost me 5.5 million. So therefore, I know that actual helps me cost out the jobs and the risk reward system. Whereas I argue that kind of isn't really there in No Man's Sky. But yeah, no, I do love the game. I mean, you know, No Man's Sky is about the experience, much as you know, Elite is about crafting your own journey, really. No Man's Sky is about making your own experience. Okay, cool. So we've got some more useful data that we're going to sell to the highest bidder later on. Anomaly detected. Threat 4. Yeah, I think I'm going to ignore that. Okay, so we've got another... Hello, we've got an unexplored system here. We almost missed that. So we'll do this quick one, and then we'll carry on our journey to Maya. Get that meta alloy. Oh, come on, there's only one other planet in this system, and it's like... Again, comes back to that risk and reward system. It's like you get more money on selling cartographic data if you've got the entire system mapped out, but then on the flip side of that is it's like 3,000 light years seconds away. And you're just like, I want to hyper jump to the next one. I don't know, for the sake of, yeah, because part of the reason we're going to Maya, in the sense, is we want to get metal alloys to then go to the engineer to then upgrade the FSD, but the more money we can make along the way, the better, because that means we can buy a much better ship, which means that we can get access to the engineer who can upgrade the drive on the better ship. So there is method in the madness. At least that's what I keep telling myself. So yeah, as I said before, if you're watching this back on a later stream through the YouTube channel, which is Mike's Journo on the playlist of game streams, and you'll see this on Under Frontier, New Frontiers playlist on YouTube that's been created. But yeah, as I said before, if you want to ask me questions about Elite, great, tweet me on the username below at Mike_Dante0, and make sure your question has the hashtag Elite. But also tweet me what platforms you prefer to see games streamed on. So for the New Frontier series, of which this is episode 1, we're doing these on YouTube. But say for example you wanted to see some Battlefield videos on Battlefield 1 videos on Twitch, then you know we can certainly make that happen under a different name, and we'll make a series of those as well. So yeah, again, tweet me the kind of platforms you prefer to see and what kind of games that you want to see on the streams, and we'll go about creating a series for them. So there we go, we've got a gas giant. That's the last one in the system. System complete. We can now jump. So we've got 7 jumps left to Maya. So we're now going to the Ares Dark Region system. Sounds promising. I've got a funny feeling possibly might end up somewhere near a black hole, which is not good. But it'll be a fun part of the journey. That's what this is all about. Going on them journeys, yo. Let's scoop in for some fuel. Definitely going to need to scoop as much fuel as possible, because I've still got one. So yeah. Get that tasty fuel scoop going. So one. Sweet. Full tank, let's go. So we're just going to pull out the heat, and then we're going to stop, turn the ship around, bring out the sun, and I'll tell you one thing we're definitely not going to do. It's definitely not going to travel 58,000 light seconds to the next one. It's insane, yo. I don't even know how long that would take. I'm kind of curious now. Rage. Holy crap, there's 21 objects. Why is not a single one of them a freaking nappy? I can't believe we nearly missed out on all of that. So yeah, pro tip, make sure you scan the system when you get into it. And certainly don't try and crash your speeding ship into the system to make it slow down. So I'm just going to ramp down the speed, point the ship, sweet. Get another planet scan. I mean, it's a good way to kind of make money if you're an explorer. And also you're doing the kind of thing that we're doing in the sense that we've got a long way to go. So the likelihood of us being back in this system is going to be very slim unless we're passing through. So if we scan it first and make some money out of it, that's perfect. That's what we want. This is on our way to wherever it is we're going again, which is Maya. Slow down! Yeah, probably should have slowed down a bit sooner. Probably just going to have to do a U-turn. Damn it! So just going to flip the ship back. Get the scan, and then we'll move on to the next closest one. Okay, sweet. Next. Still got another 6 jumps to Maya, so got to make this all count. Again, slow, casually slow, not too slow. You want to kind of ease your speed. Got a couple of points as you get a bit closer. You want to be just close enough to scan. If anyone's wondered what the perspective is from outside the ship. And there's the sun. Oh, don't tell me we're gonna end up. Oh, no, we're good. For a minute I thought we might end up speeding past it by accident then. There we go. Right, next. Two in close proximity of each of them. Surprisingly, I haven't found any bases here yet, which is odd. We may have to pick shorter journeys in future, or start the journeys earlier. Let's get some speed up. The only problem is sometimes when you really want to speed things up to get things done, it can be detrimental because you might not end up being able to slow down quick enough. It'll do like I've done twice on this stream, on this episode, where I've ended up like dropping out of hyperspace because I'm an idiot. So no, mainly because I haven't been able to slow down quick enough. Sweet. Right. One more to explore. It's taking a little while. I've generally no idea how he scan planets yet, but that'll be a fun activity for future episodes. This is the thing with Elite Dangerous, the likelihood is you'll spend a lot of time learning stuff on your own. But obviously that's not necessarily a bad thing, because then by the time you get to a point of where you've learned pretty much everything about the game, in the sense that like all the kinds of modules and technology and stuff that you can get fitted out for your ship, then that's going to come in handy when you decide to go and take the plunge into co-op and, you know, do 4-player co-op with ships and contracts and stuff and travel around the universe. You're going to have all those valuable skills. Which is why it's important to remember that while No Man's Sky is about the experience, Elite Dangerous is about the journey that you want to take, and that really is up to you. got to dip in for some fuel. God damn it, 24 new objects. So you want to hope one of those is a nav beacon. No fuel scooping's not complete. Scoop some more fuel. Oh no, it is complete. God damn it. Yeah, this is really not how you scan planets. You don't scan them by travelling 5,000 miles an hour or whatever past them. Not fun, because then you have to do almost like a loop-de-loop to get back so that you can actually start scanning them again. Okay, so that's that one scan. Let's do another one. Of course it would be back the same way we came, because why wouldn't it be? Diverting all power to the engines. 651 light seconds feels like a decade. But it's alright, we'll be there in no time. To be honest, by the time we get there, like if we speed up really fast, it'll, by the time we've got to the speed that we want to, we'll have to reduce it anyway. So just take a chill pill. Thought, how cool would it be if we saw Rick Sanchez, Rick and Morty in this? Just flying around in their garbage thing, garbage spaceship, and we just walk, you know, fly past them a while. Elite, you need to make that happen, Frontier team. You need to make it happen so that we can get a special Rick and Morty ship. Kidding me? There's two unexplored things in the same location. Slow. Okay, that's all about this one. Scan will be done in a minute. There we go, perfect. music in Elite is mesmerising as well. Although, to be honest, my preference would be to play something a bit more upbeat, because this is really relaxing, but maybe a little bit too relaxing. But obviously, I'm aware that because we're live streaming this, although those watching back the episode won't have seen it live, but obviously, if we put music in this that wasn't included in the game, it'd be copyright things with PlayStation music that just becomes such a pain to sort out. So yeah, just enjoy the ambience, I guess, and try not let the music put you to sleep, especially if you're really tired. It's no fun gaming while sleeping. I know. I did that once with Final Fantasy VII many years ago. Fell asleep just pressing the X button, woke up, was still pressing the X button about 5 hours later. But it was cool because I'd made like loads of XP, so. But yeah, it's not fun. Especially if you're sat in a chair upright as well. Get bad neck. Speed up a little bit. Oh no, crap. Slow. Oh yeah. Slow just in the nick of time. Yay. Now, I'm aware this won't be the most exciting episode that we do over the course of the journey, it's because we've had no... but that one guy who tried to pull us out of hyperspace, we haven't really had any confrontations, which is a blessing and a curse, really. My god, how big is this system? I'm sorry, I'll go have a look at this on the way. Must be massive. Jesus. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. 14 planets of one. Like, I don't know, like, can't even count them. Not got my glasses on. But at least 8 on the other things. So like 30 odd planets in the system. That's annoying. Interesting enough, haven't found a space station though. I wonder if there is one. It works, yeah. Pretty interesting. Could potentially colonise that stuff. We've only got 5 jumps to go. So we get to our destination target. Engage. Yeah. Let's get some fuel. get some more fuel. Just yep, let's go. Of course there's 90 objects in a system that are unexplored. We have to get at least one of them. So looks like we're going for that one. Scanning here. Next, well, we want to continue to Maya. What we've got. Four more. So I think this is as good as point as any to put us on the right path, and for me to take a quick comfort break. comfort breakover. Now let's make some progress. Considering we've only got like 4. Jeez, it's a lot of numbers. Even at 942C, it still would have taken us 9.6 days of real time at top speed to get to that galaxy, that solar system. Bloody hell. Definitely need fuel. Slow it down, so I know what this is. Is that a nav beacon? It's a nav beacon. It's the very sun that we just... Hopefully this is a nav beacon. Slow. No, it wasn't a nav beacon, it was an asteroid cluster. I suppose we've got to scan the signal source. It's just emissions. It's important to still scan asteroid belts when you're going through systems, because these are the things you could potentially be mining, should you want to partake in mining. Mining is completely optional, but it can be quite lucrative. This sun seems to have a lot of asteroid fields around it. It's weird. Okay, cluster belt 4. It would have been really nice if we could have found a nav beacon here. Three more jumps to Mia. Or Via. However you pronounce it. the place where we need to go to get alloys. Getting there. As you can see, this game takes a lot of patience and time, but the payoff will be good. That I'm assured. Once we start getting into things like Corvette classes and lots of money and travelling around the universe faster, travelling around the galaxy faster. Do a lot more cool stuff then in future episodes. Don't forget, this is the inaugural episode, so if you want to see more, again, follow me on Twitter at Mike_Dante0, or you can look for Mike's Journo on YouTube. And you'll see this in the playlist, and of course on Facebook it is facebook.com/Mike's Journo, and on Instagram it is at Mike's Journo. A lot of Mike's Journo. Always good to have your brand on point. And don't ask me about Snapchat, I'm not a fan. Scan this planet here, and I think it would be good for us to then make a move to the next system. And as I say, there are 4 more bloody planets appear. Of course they appear. And I bet you the bloody clusters as well. Why it's not scanning it. That's so bizarre. That's why you know scan. fly past a pretty planet. Yeah, I think I'm going to skip scanning that. Let's just move on to the next system. I think we've scanned enough stuff here. Lock and engage. Let's get some speed up. Feel the need for speed. Bloody hell, that's bright. $35 new objects. Distress call. Suppose we could go and help them. I could be doing a good deed, but I think I'd rather just get blinded by this for now. Jesus, right. At least you discovered something in the system, but I'm going to have to love this system a little bit because we've only got 2 more jumps to run. Again, another bright sun. Nearly there, folks. Yay, one more jump to go. Woohoo! Finally arrived at our destination. Woohoo! Bloody hell, that's bright. Getting there. There's the nav beacon. Nearly at the nav beacon. God, the light's bright. We're getting it. Bloody nav beacon. Come on. Yes, everyone. Scan this, and we've got a lot of useful data there. Sweet. So we need to go to oh Jesus, where is it? So we need to go to one of these stations. I can't remember which one. Tunnels previously. Come on. Otherwise we're going to get tagged. Short one. Run away. So we're going to come here and get some meta alloys. And see about making our way to the engineer. Accepting the engineer's invite. Sadly, sometimes this can take a while on Elite. and in there. There are meta alloys. Watch. So yeah, we're going to try and land on this as well. Big fan of flange landings, but give it another shot. on. Take forever, that's right. Yes. Yay! We're finally here. Landing seems to take forever using autopilot. So be warned. Yeah. Nice, we own. And so that's as good a point as any to stop the stream. So as you see, it's taken a while, but we got to Maya in the end, which is on a planet. Takes a while, but now the next step of the journey, which I might cover in a different episode or a different way, will be to get the meta alloy that we've just purchased by getting to the star system, which was 260 light years from where we originally started, and then trade them with the engineer to get the FSD super speeds, and hopefully I'll have a new ship. So but yeah, the basic way that New Frontiers is going to work is that every week we'll try and do a stream, usually towards the end of the week, for an hour or two, and we'll take on different journeys, different tasks, to give you a better understanding of the game and just come along on the journey with us. Obviously, as I said before, you can follow me on Twitter at Mike_Dante0. You can also find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Mike's Journo. The same for Instagram, Mike's Journo. Just search for that and you'll find me, and then obviously this will be on YouTube as well. So thank you for watching. I know it's been a bit of a long journey, but we have travelled like literally 260 light years, and it's a lot to do in a 2.5 hour sitting. So thank you for joining me for the episode, and as I said before, tweet me any of your questions, the things that you want to know about the Elite game, or things that you want to see in future New Frontiers episodes. Just remember to ask the question using the hashtag Elite in your tweet, and I will answer that for you in the next episode. So thank you for those that watched. Those that didn't, you can catch us on YouTube, and again we'll tweet the link out for you. So for now, bon voyage, keep playing Elite, dangerous, and yeah, be careful of the space. You never know what's around the corner waiting for you on your journey. Till next time, I've been Mike. Thanks for watching.